And everything, as you will see, pretty close across the board. Age and height nearly identical. Slight reach advantage for Margarito. And at yesterday's weigh-in, both were just under the 147-pound welterweight limit. And the notable rules for this world title fight: there is no standing 8 count, no 3 knockdown rule. A fighter cannot be saved by the bell in any round. If an accidental headbutt occurs before the end of the 4th round, it's a no decision. After the end of round 4, they go to the scorecards. So here at the Arrowhead Pond of Anaheim, getting ready for our main event, Antonio Margarito versus Danny Perez for the WBO Welterweight Championship. The official introductions from our ring announcer, the classy Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you and welcome to the Arrowhead Pond in Anaheim, California, as it's time for the featured bout of the evening, brought to you by Top Rank Incorporated in association with Showtime and the undisputed king of beers, Budweiser. This bout coming away is sanctioned by the World Boxing Organization, the President Francisco Valcarcel, Supervisor Phil Siegel, along with the California State Athletic Commission. The chairman is Gordon Van Souter, Vice Chairman Sanford Michaelman, Commissioners in attendance John Frierson and Marty Denkin, with the Executive Director Rob Lynch. Our physicians at ringside: Dr. Smith Ketchum, Dr. Paul Wallace, Dr. Richard Sachs, and Dr. Richard Castagnon. Timekeepers at the bell, also keeping count of the knockdowns, we have Mike Millsap and John Lichty. Introducing to our 3 judges scoring this bout from ringside. From Chula Vista, California, Jose Cobian. From Eagle Rock, California, Dr. Lou Moret. And from La Mesa, California, Pat Russell. And our 3rd man of the ring, working in this, his 21st world title bout, John Shorley. All right, fans, here we go with our main event of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing for the WBO Welterweight Championship of the world. And now, ladies and gentlemen in attendance and boxing fans joining us around the world, live from the Arrowhead Pond in Anaheim, it is showtime! Introducing to you first, ladies and gentlemen, the challenger on my left, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing red and white trunks and joining us from San Diego, California. He weighed in at a trim and ready 145.5 pounds. His record stands at 27 wins, 2 losses, 17 of his wins coming by way of knockout. Please welcome the former NABF champion, who is currently the number 3 WBO welterweight contender, introducing the challenger, Danny Dynamite Perez. And his opponent across the ring, the defending world champion. On my right, fighting out of the red corner, wearing white trunks with green and red trim, hailing from Tijuana, Baja California, Mexico. His weight, 146.5 pounds. His record, 26 wins, 3 losses, 1 no contest, with 18 of his wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight he is making his first title defense, introducing the WBO Welterweight Champion of the World, Antonio Margarito. And once again, a referee in charge is John Shorley, now to give instructions.
Chief, second only. Mouthpiece. All business. Mouthpiece, Holmes. All business. Okay, guys, this is for the WBO title. It's gonna be a good, clean fight. Obey my commands at all times and protect yourselves at all times. Just close now. Come on, fighting good luck.
And before the first bell, let's check in with Jim Gray.
An awful lot of happy people tonight, Steve, here in Anaheim, because across the street it's over. American League Championship Series Game 4, the Angels have won 7-1 over the Minnesota Twins. They now have a 3-1 lead in the series. A lot of the fans are coming in here now into the pond. It's just across the street, so you're going to see an awful lot of red here in the stadium. here at the pond as we see them coming in. The Angels now just one game away from their first World Series.
All right, Jim, exciting day in the Anaheim area. Sure, over 50,000 at the stadium, Edison Field across the street, as Jim pointed out, and roughly 4,000 expected here tonight at the Arrowhead Pond.
They beat my Yankees.
Sorry about that. All right, round one, scheduled for 12 for the WBO welterweight championship. It's Antonio Margarito in the white, and Danny Perez in the white with the red.
You just saw Perez look to throw that right hand immediately. He looked to catch him with that right hand right over the jab again.
Margarito, lanky, rangy, not always a fast starter, very patient, as illustrated in the first Perez fight and the fight with Antonio Diaz. Not a big banger, but he wears you down. High work rate, very busy. Perez, tough, confident. He's aggressive. Nice skills and punching power. He likes to work basically from long range, behind the jab, not as effective from close range. Margarito with a nice left hook.
No feeling out process in this fight.
Perez did tell us that he wanted to use more boxing skills and angles and use the jab movement after working about a month with Oscar De La Hoya, who was preparing for Fernando Vargas. Big swing, a left hand there that grazed Margarito, not flush.
You saw Margarito smile back, but I think that punch hurt a little more than he'd have liked us to know.
If that had landed real clean, it could have been trouble for Margarito. Margarito keeps that quick pace, constant pressure. Looks to out-hustle and outwork like he did against Perez in the first fight after he was dropped by a big overhand right in the first round by Perez.
Right now, Perez is using his jab to offset some of that busy tactics that Margarito used in the first fight, and I like what he's doing so far.
Under a minute remaining, round one. Perez not afraid to trade. Perez with a slight height advantage, which is not usually the case against Margarito. He usually has the height. Margarito physically strong. Margarito coming forward.
Perez moving more than he did in the first fight, as he said he would. Try and give some angles to Margarito to shoot at. Here, keeping his hand dangerously low, though.
Particularly against a guy like Margarito that can take quick advantage. Eric Jones, our translator.
Fintealo, en la finteada, él te agarra en el contragolpe, entonces mándale ya para
Watch out for his
arriba,
counter
arriba, a la
punch.
derecha, abajo.
Hit him in the top, then go in the bottom.
¿Oíste?
You understand?
Bájalo con jab, jab.
Hit him with
Uno
a jab.
al guante,
Use the jab. Don't hold him. Be fast.
otro abajo.
And hit him in the bottom.
Otro abajo,
One in the top, one in the bottom.
Y te mueves a los laterales.
Keep moving to the sides.
Tienes que caminar sobre los lados.
You have to move to the side.
Pero tu guardia bien cerradita, ¿ok? Jala tu aire.
Get your second and your third win. You're in great shape.
Great shape, Danny.
Keep that jab in his face. Feint him a lot, and keep moving. Don't stand in front of him very long, okay?
Right here, Danny.
Okay?
It was not deja vu all over again. Margarito was decked in the first round of the first bidding with Danny Perez. Not the case here, not even close to going down.
But something about Danny Perez is definitely different than the first fight that I handicapped. He's a lot more active, throwing a lot more punches. His boxing is much sharper.
11-0 since that loss to Margarito is Danny Perez.
Keep up, keep up, keep up.
He is content to stand in there and slug once again with Margarito.
And he just got caught with a good left hook, Steve, that I think hurt him a little bit.
And that's something he was trying to avoid. So he may think twice. Good right hand and a left hook by Danny Perez.
And you see Margarito nod at him and smile, but I'll tell you what, that was a good combination.
17 of Perez's 27 wins by KO. He's lost twice. Losing to Margarito, and once early in his career. Margarito 26-3 with a no contest with Daniel Santos. Couple of fights back, 18 knockouts. Margarito down 3 times in his career, Perez twice. Check out Perez never down. Margarito down 3 times. Margarito missing with that right hand.
I think the defense is actually a little better for Perez as well. Margarito keeps his hands high, always has, comes right to you, can absorb well. Perez using better boxing skills than he did the first time and being busier.
Well, a fighter certainly learns more, matures, explores. It's been over 3 years since he last fought Margarito.
Let him go, no detengas.
And he has moved up the ladder in the rankings all the way up to number 3, Perez. He's number 5 BC, number 8 PA, 3 WBO. So he is a worthy challenger for the welterweight title here.
Let him go, dude. Keep up. Keep him up.
Right there on the inside, something that Margarito is, a stronger fighter on the inside. This is not where Perez wants to be.
Work, get out of there. Go to work in there. That's
Margarito is looking to lure Perez into a brawl. Big right hand by Margarito to the chin. But Perez withstood it.
Listen to me. We're not going to turn this into a slugfest. We're going to box him from the outside because you're winning the round. You stand inside and you get caught. Get the hell out of there. Are you clear? Yeah. Okay, you know what's going on?
Watch on the inside. I told you, he's a much better fighter inside. Margarito from right here, you see his elbow here. He brings that left hook in an uppercut fashion on the inside. Very dangerous on the inside. This is why Perez does not want to be here. That was a very clean shot that staggered Perez. When you watch Perez, what happens is he comes against Margarito, he throws a nice right hand over here, and he comes back with a beautiful left hook. These are the weapons he needs from the outside boxing smart. There he slips the right hand, and here comes the big left hook. Very, very nice. And at the end of the fight, you see a big, long, looping right hand by Margarito, right on the jaw. Dropped his hands, and over the top he came. He has to be sharper defensively, Perez.
Perez has to be careful. He's falling into that same trap that doomed him in the first fight, that of slugging and going toe-to-toe with Margarito. And those are the words of his trainer, Tom DeFrancisco. Box him from the outside. He's not as effective, Perez, from close range. So let's see if he heeds the advice of his corner. He's got a jab and move, Perez, wearing the red on the left side, the white on the right, the trunks. Left hand there that's scored by Margarito up top.
Right now, some nice counters from the outside by Margarito. Perez not keeping his hands high enough.
And Perez knows that Margarito has had some difficulty with boxer types who move a lot.
But his style, Perez's style, is not that much of a mover. He doesn't fight as well going backwards. He needs to move like that to the side and step forward with the jab. That's how he's effective.
He has it in his mind to be like that, but I'm not sure if he has the ability. Saying it is one thing, pulling it off is another.
Call that talking the talk as opposed to walking the walk. But I'll tell you right now, it's not his basic style to go backward like this. He's going to be telling on his legs, and he's not going to be as effective with his combinations. Also, coming forward, your power is greater. That's going to add to the repertoire of Margarito.
Nice left-right combination to the head by Perez.
Now he's starting to make Margarito miss on him, but he has to make it pay. He has to come back in like that and throw the right hand left hook.
approach the final minute of round 3, scheduled for 12 for the WBO welterweight title.
The thing that I claim is the biggest difference in the first fight, the pace that Margarito can keep. Again, he's starting to outwork Perez. That's going to be huge.
After he was knocked down in the first round of the first fight, he out-hustled Perez the rest of the way and won a close split decision, although I didn't think it was that close, to be honest.
I didn't either. I thought 6-2 at best for Margarito, and I don't know how it got to be a split decision.
It was an 8-rounder. Both fighters actually were scheduled to fight other people that night. Good right hand to the head by Margarito. Another right hand by Margarito over the top. That scored. An overhand right by Margarito is finding a home here in round 3. Another right hand over the top. 3 in a row unanswered by Margarito. Now Margarito just chasing Perez around the ring. Perez says, bring it on.
The problem is Margarito is bringing it on. He's bringing it on well.
Effectively, he scored 3 times with the overhand right.
Nomás no te confíes demasiado. Así como lo estás golpeando a lo largo, te mueves.
Just the way you do with the big punches. You have to move to the side and keep throwing punches.
Tu jab, rápido,
You got to use your jab, fast jab, fast jabs. The speed is the factor.
Watch when Perez backs up. He does not land, and he can't really defend that well. He's not effective. His punches are very tentative, and he gets hit. To the body there, not a big deal, but he's not effective. He's not getting off anything. But when he's coming forward, stepping in behind the jab, it's a little different. There's a jab and then a left hook off the jab and a right hand, and the champion, though, comes back. That round, still the champion. He came forward and was very effective. We saw several like that, right hands over the jab, very effective for Margarito. His bread and butter so far.
I believe that was one of your keys to victory, that Perez couldn't fight going backwards.
That's correct.
You see, I listen.
I actually know what I'm talking about
once in a while. Oh, we're in a lot of trouble because I'm listening to you. Round 4. Started to say they were both on the same card that night in Indio, California 3 years ago, but against other opponents. The other opponents dropped out. There's Perez now coming forward.
Again, when he comes forward, he's much more effective, stepping with the jab and firing the punches. But when he's on the retreat, he does not even defend as well as he does going forward.
So they put these 2 guys together that night at the last minute. 8-rounder turned out to be a stirring affair. And here we are a little over 3 years later, and they're doing it again.
This time, a lot more is at stake.
This time for a title. Margarito's 9 fights since his bout with Perez. He's won them all, 8 by knockout with that 1-no contest when he and Daniel Santos of Puerto Rico clashed heads in the first round. Perez 11-0, 7 knockouts since the first meeting, as mentioned. Margarito cautioned by referee John Shorley to keep those punches up higher. Accidental.
I think right now Perez is having a little trouble with the strength of Margarito. Margarito's too strong coming forward. He's not able to back Margarito up anywhere near as easily as he had in the first couple of rounds.
We're in a hockey arena, so it's apropos. Oftentimes you hear the expression honest hockey player. Well, I think Margarito would fall into that category as a boxer. He's an honest boxer. He's not looking to foul. He's not looking to do anything.
No, he just wants to come here and do his work.
Yep. And he's doing his work right here. High work rate, very busy, a lot of punches. Margarito, and many of those are getting in with under a minute remaining, round 4.
To the head and body, he's just outworking Perez again. This is the same pattern that the first fight fell into. Margarito started out, Perez started out strong, but then faded. We're seeing more of that now.
Margarito very confident, having his way, backing the challenger up. Continues to press, dictating the pace, all those good things.
I got your break, step back.
Margarito's trainer. And that would be Javier Capetillo. well-respected trainer who's trained former featherweight champ Jorge Paez, very popular in this area, and former super bantamweight contender Margarito Gonzalez.
Let him go right here. Let him go right here. Let him go. Go to work.
Final seconds of the fourth. Rugged round for Perez. But he finishes with a bang.
Okay. Good. You okay? All right. Now, that round he looked a little more aggressive than us. Okay? You spit it. Don't worry about it. He looked like he was a little bit more aggressive, but you're starting to get the hang of what I'm telling you to do. Box him. Now we want to set him. We want to hit him with harder shots. Hit him with the hook right here.
Almost a repeat of how I drew it up in the keys to victory. Watch Margarito coming in, double left hand, right hand, another left hook, another jab, 6, 7, 8 punches to the one offered up by Perez. He's outworking him. And at the very end of the round was a nice left hook. Champ finally, there it is. Champ finally gets one in there. A little more solid than a couple of the other ones, but again, he's just outworking. He's just throwing so much more than Perez that whatever lands.
Let's go, dude.
Perez, he's just so short. He's just short.
The advice from Perez's trainer, Tom DiFrancesco. All right, now it's time to pick it up a little bit. Throw some more punches with power. Left hook, perhaps. Let's see what happens. Round number 5.
Well, I thought he completely took the last round off Perez and barely did much offensively at all. So, his next right hand.
Heavy right hand by Margarito, who really jumps on him now. Right uppercut, too. Don't forget, maybe his best weapon is the right uppercut, Margarito, or the left uppercut.
Well, I'll tell you what, right now, I think that Margarito hurt Perez to the body, and that's why you're seeing nothing being offered back by Perez.
Margarito has been very effective tonight with the overhand right, but we haven't seen much of the right or left uppercut, which did a lot of damage in the first fight and against Antonio Diaz. Perez waving his head as if to say, you're not hurting me, but usually it's the opposite when a fighter makes that expression. Well, in this title fight, our press row judges scored 3 of the first 4 rounds the same way, and thus far we have a unanimous decision for Margarito.
Yeah, they have the 39-37 as well. I think they're right on line with this. You know, again, it's just the one factor right now, outworking Perez. Margarito's just outworking. He's landing more punches, throwing more punches. Some of them aren't as heavy, some of them are, but it's just numbers now.
And Perez is just following, or Margarito's just following Perez all around the ring. Firing shots to the head.
I really truly believe that Margarito hurt Perez to the body, and that's why we're seeing this.
Bad place for Perez against the ropes.
Work, get out of there. Let him go. Let him go. Good work.
Talk about a ratio of punches. It was all Margarito. And it continues. One-sided affair. Margarito, and he's landing now. Here come the uppercuts. Here's the overhand right. We're seeing just about his entire arsenal.
And once again, there's a weakness, it seems, in the punches of Perez. I think the body shots have started to tell already.
I think John Shirley is really taking a close look into the eyes of Danny Perez right now. Perez is offering back, but as Bobby points out, the punches are relatively ineffective.
And they're just light. They just don't seem to have any real steam or mustard to them.
Margarito goes right back to it. Good right hand, a long right hand by Margarito that connected. Just before the bell. And another good round for the champion.
Come on. You're not going to win this way. Okay? What did we work on? Okay? Got to box, Danny. Box. Hit him with the hard shots and move. Okay? Where you at?
Find a shot here that goes a little bit south of the border. Not a real big deal, but that one was on the belt line, not real bad. I can't say that was a bad south of the border punch, but it was close. And then Margarito starts to work his way back. just working in on the body. Now there's where I thought one of the sequences where 2 or 3 of those body shots really weakened Perez. That punch also looked good. And he whacks him up to the corner, puts him on the ropes, and really tees off. You see, there's something that's missing in the eyes and body of Perez, which is why I thought he got hurt. But here he's getting teed off on, not really responding. You do too much of that, and referees will tend to stop the fight.
Once again, Margarito on the attack, backing Perez up all the way to the ropes where he really got rocked. And I'll tell you what, Tom DeFrancesco just laying it on the line with the naked truth, telling his fighter Danny Perez, you're just not going to win this fight.
And it's no secret, Steve. It's just not a secret. He has to outwork him. We talked about the first fight that he wasn't in perfect shape. Took the fight on short notice. He got outworked. You know, now there's no excuse. He's had plenty of time. He knew the fight was going to be now. Should be ready to do this.
Good right uppercut right on the chin by Margarito. Perez just getting whacked around here.
Margarito's also better at body punch, which I think is very telling. He mixes it up. Perez does not nearly as much.
Well, you couldn't call this stuff better on a blackboard for Margarito. He's just doing it all correctly. He's outworking, out hustling. His skill level is higher than Perez.
Break! I got you. Everything goes.
So technically sound. His level of competition coming into this fight much better than that of Perez. They're very physically even coming in, but a difference in the quality of opposition in favored Margarito. Although Perez has had some stiff competition.
And I'm impressed right now with Margarito's execution. He is executing well. He is hitting all the numbers, dotting I's and crossing the T's in his strategy and his record.
Margarito continues to dictate the pace.
Let him go. Work it. Stop! Break! I'm here.
Oh, big overhand right to the head by Margarito.
Nice uppercut coming back by Perez.
In there, let him go.
You notice with that right hand, Perez rolled with that right hand, which lessens the effect, but tell you what, doesn't look good for the judges. It doesn't look like he got rocked. Now the first 2.5 minutes are all gone. Margarito pretty much. It's going to be impossible for Perez to pull around that without a knockdown, and I don't think he has it in him.
Antonio Margarito in the white with the green trim, his first defense out of Tijuana, Mexico. Perez, the number 3 WBO contender. He's wearing the white with the red trim, and he is from San Diego. Margarito 26-3 with 1 no contest, 18 knockouts. Perez 27-2, 17 knockouts. Well, here's what's coming up in the near future here on Showtime. Showtime Championship Boxing returns next Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern and Pacific with a triple header featuring WBA super lightweight champ Diabelis Hurtado facing Vivian Harris. Also, 2000 U.S. Olympic silver medalist Rocky Juarez and his stablemate Juan Diaz put their unbeaten streaks on the line. That's next Saturday, October 19th, 10 p.m. Eastern and Pacific. Then in November, we'll present a very exciting showdown between two highly respected former world champions, Shambe Mitchell and Vince Phillips, with the winner positioning himself for a possible title fight against undisputed champion Kostya Tszyu. Catch Mitchell versus Phillips November 9th at 10 p.m. Eastern and Pacific. To this point, it has been all Antonio Margarito as we climb into round 7.
You know, Perez talked about giving him some movement, but this is more like running than actual movement from side to side. He's going to one side or the other, but he's not offering up any real offense, stepping around and firing back, making Margarito miss as he comes in. He's just kind of running.
A near shutout for Margarito, just for the record, at the halfway point.
I have it 59-55, 5 rounds to 1. I just can't see giving any other rounds to Margarito. Excuse me, to Perez. Margarito's been all over.
And it continues here in round 7. And now Perez not offering back. Margarito canvassing the challenger, smothering him with punches. And I can't remember in this round the last time Perez threw one back. There's one and another.
But there's so far and few between, Steve. He's getting out punched 5 and 6 and 7 to 1.
Just going to say that, yeah. Margarito
Work inside.
with a higher work rate, obviously. Interesting, Perez told us he thought Margarito would be underestimating him and looking ahead to perhaps unifying the title, thinking that Perez isn't a dangerous or a worthy challenger. Well, so far Margarito in the right. Look at this.
Just non-stop. They're not all hard punches, but they're there.
One after another. Perez is trying now. He's showing some heart.
Right now, Margarito's fighting as a southpaw.
And there comes a time when the ref, John Shirley, has to say something, or at least make some kind of indication.
Well, none of the punches are terrifically hard. The head's not snapping back greatly. And every once in a while, Perez offers something of just maybe terrific doesn't stop.
Su cabeza.
Watch the heads, he said. Margarito, the head's coming perilously close. Here comes Perez now with a little offering, but few and far between. Final second, round 7. Perez is getting pummeled. Even if the punches aren't that hard for Margarito.
Breathe in, breathe in. I know you're going to finish him. But hit him here and there, top and bottom, left hook. It's all you need. That's all you need. The knockout is there.
Very early in, as Perez comes in, he lands a beautiful left hook here, and then also takes a right uppercut on the chin of Margarito, but that's it. The left hook comes in, steps right around the hand right there, and a right uppercut that follows, and that was pretty much it for the rest of the round. The only 2 good, strong, clean punches that he really landed. And then Margarito backs him up and just tees off, beating him from pillar to post pretty much, pushes him back to ropes, and pretty much leaves him there. You know what? This is what it is, round after round. It's just being out-hustled. I said in the first fight, it was the biggest difference, was the work rate of Margarito, the pace he kept, same thing here.
Total domination by the champion, Antonio Margarito. Margarito indicating that this would be the knockout round. And it's round number 8. Let's see what happens. But I'm just questioning how much more punishment. You point out that the punches may not be that hard, but how much more can he take?
You know, he could probably take this all night. Unfortunately, there are some guys, and I like to think I was one of them, the tough guys that could take a lot of punishment. Perez right now showing me that he's got some toughness too. But the punches are not big, lasting shots. You know? They're not Mike Tyson left hooks or, Freitas right hands. These are punches that are coming in big-time bunches, but not with real true power.
Time. Go to the neutral corner. Let's go, let's go. I want some water. I want this water cleaned up. Really slippery.
That's probably left over from the tie.
It's a possibility, Steve.
Okay, time in.
Well, the first fight went 8 rounds. We're in round 8 here, scheduled for 12. The first fight between Margarito and Perez going 8. But Perez just looking more beleaguered and weathered and tired with each passing round.
there just never seems to be a sense of urgency or really trying to punch with bad intentions coming from Perez, and that's alarming because he's really throwing away a lot of rounds.
That's also why, well, finally we heard the referee John Shirley said, "Come on, let's go, Perez."
Work it out there.
Because you have to start watching closely to see if the guy is going to offer things back. If not, and he keeps fooling you because every once in a while he does.
Let him go. Let him go.
It just doesn't seem. It's just not enough.
Inside.
Right now it's become an ugly wrestling match on the inside. Not something I think that Margarito wants, but right now I think it's a necessity for Perez.
Well, Margarito said before the fight he'd like to make a statement here tonight. He'd like to unify the title.
I got you.
And looking at the big picture, that would be against people like Vernon Forrest or Ricardo Mayorga or Michel Piccirillo.
Let you work inside. Let you work inside.
His dream fight to move up in weight and beat Oscar De La Hoya.
Stop. Stop.
Now, who would? With that kind of money being thrown around.
Yeah, that seems to be everybody's dream fight anywhere remotely close to the right weight.
Yeah, publicity, exposure.
Let him go. Let him go. Stop. I need to see something from you, man, okay? Let's go.
We were down in Puerto Rico not long ago. And De La Hoya is down there trying to coax Trinidad. Feel like Trinidad out of retirement, get another crack at him. You could see mostly De La Hoya again at 154. This fight continues to be dominated by Margarito.
It's almost like a replay of the round before every time out.
Sorry. Huh? Okay, I need to know. Okay, you tired? Shot? Okay. Come on, Dino. Get right down in there. I need to know how bad you want it. How you feeling?
Good.
All right. We got 4 left. He's winning the fight. Okay? He's probably up about 3 rounds. We got to take the next 4 or knock him out. Okay? So that means non-stop punching. Go with the double jab right hand. Keep hitting him. Now you can't go. You gotta keep him from out here. As soon as he comes close, hit him. Then move. Okay? You're letting him take the momentum.
Faltan 3 rounds, te quiero mejor. ¿Oíste? Si no me quedas bueno y si no, ni modo.
If you knock him out, great, but
Trabajando bien. Una exhibición, ok.
this is your division.
Ándale pues.
Go ahead.
No se confíe. No se confíe. Ok, vino por el software.
Plain and simple once again from Tom DeFrancesco, the trainer for Danny Perez.
Well, I'm sure he senses there's a problem, and he said, "Are you tired? What's wrong?" He has got to be very frustrated because the sense of urgency is upon us, and as a group, and he's not doing anything. Perez just phoning in a performance, if that.
It's been all Margarito since the second round. First round was either even or maybe in favor of the challenger. Margarito continues to march forward to the point where Perez will need to score a knockout to win.
I think Perez needs to score a knockout right now to win. His corner's being gracious by saying he's only down 3 rounds. I have him down 7 rounds to 1. That's double what they think in 6. He said he was in better shape, in championship quality shape now. He's not showing me that, or he did get hurt, or something's hurt. He either got hurt to the body or something's broken. I don't know what the problem is, but he's not fighting.
Well, our press row judges see the fight one-sided, lopsided unanimous decision in favor of Margarito. 6 of the 8 rounds scored identically. It's almost as one-sided, Bobby, as the Angels' 7-1 win tonight across the street.
Yeah, that would be apropos.
Good work.
Many of the fans, as Jim Gray reported earlier, coming over from Edison Field to catch some of the action here at the Arrowhead Pond.
Margarito just spun Perez and hit him from the other side. The punch was clean, but the spin is actually foul.
Perez trying to dig to the midsection.
Let him go. Good work in there. Let him go. Let him go.
Hanging in there.
Let him go.
But being tossed around almost like a rag doll right now. Here's that right uppercut, followed by a left hook to the body by Margarito. Margarito throwing punches and bunches.
The strength and stamina too much for Perez.
This non-stop accumulation of punches, fusillade of punches, barrage by Margarito, just wearing Perez down. There's just for good measure, a left hook up top by Antonio Margarito. And then he goes right back to the body attack. Right out of the textbook.
Stop! Break!
No knockdown. Perez comes back with a nice right hand, but then following up, he's just out of gas.
And he said he didn't want to fight on the inside, and that's all he's doing now is fighting on the inside, which is not his fight.
So he has fallen into pretty much the same trap, but he's getting beaten up a lot more in this rematch than in the first fight.
You're rushing it. You're rushing it. Just calm down a bit.
¿Qué tal ahí? Bien, eso. No, mira, hijo, no lo puedes conectar de un golpe porque te lo
You
está
cannot knock him out with one punch.
Combina el golpeo aquí, arriba,
Hit him all over the place, in the top, in the bottom, all over.
Exactamente.
Ya todo bajo, Tony. Además estás pegado de vez en cuando. Retírate, Tony. Retírate y vuelve rápido.
Te agarró con una derecha.
Hit him with your right hand. Hit him with the right.
Sí, Tony, yo sé.
Ahí estás mejor, pero no frontal, con pasitos cortitos.
Margarito very good on the inside. Here you see a triple left uppercut. 1, 2, 3. Then what he does is he gets his shoulder here, spins him around, and winds up hitting him from the back. Very, very cutesy he gets here. Up the middle. Just taking the left hook. Up the middle. Uppercuts. Up the middle. Up the middle. Now watch him put his hand around the shoulder and just spin him around and hit him from the other side. Now the punches land in legal areas, but you can't spin a fighter to do it.
Margarito is running out of body parts to hit Perez in because he's just about touched them all, and they're telling him in the corner, go all over the place.
Yeah, right there he was making up as he go along, just doing whatever he wanted.
Improvising. And oh, look at this. Combination to the head by Margarito, snapping Perez's head around. This guy has some rock solid chin. Perez, that's one thing you can say for him. He's never been down in 29 fights. Margarito continues to dish it out. Again, as Bobby pointed out, that's punches by Margarito, but they're getting in, they're scoring, they're connecting.
They're not big bombs, but to tell you what, there are an awful lot of them, and they're consistent, landing on the target.
18 of Margarito's 26 wins by KO. 3 losses, and the no contest. The 3 losses to Victor Lazoya back in '94, his first year as a pro. By decision, a decision to Larry Dixon in '96. And then to a fighter named Roddy Jones in '96. By decision. He's never been stopped. And the beat goes on for Margarito.
It's gotten to the point, Steve, you could clone these rounds and just replay them. You see the same thing. It's round after round the same thing.
Round 10.
Stop! Break. Good, good.
This is somewhat of a better round for Perez, but not by enough that it matters. He's still getting outworked, and that's been the biggest key. It wasn't the first fight, still is here in the rematch.
Well, it's being billed as Latin Fury 2, and all the fury is coming from Tijuana's Antonio Margarito.
No, let him go. Let him go. Let him go. Let him go over there.
Well, when they trade, when they exchange, Margarito has the upper hand, as you can see.
His punches are harder, more accurate, and just more of them. And Perez has not found a way to neutralize any of the above.
Perez told us he wouldn't fall into a slugfest, wouldn't slug it out with Margarito. He has taken the wrong tack once again. He said he would try to outbox and outskill Margarito. It hasn't worked. He got lured into a street fight, and it's been all Margarito. Right now, let's take a look at what's coming up on Showtime Championship Boxing next Saturday night.
Showtime, America's #1 boxing network, brings you more fights than any other premium channel, and we're proving it with 3 consecutive weeks of fighting. And it all wraps up this week with 3 big fights. Diego Bailey Sertano faces his toughest test in defense of his WBA light welterweight title. Plus, former Olympian Rocky Juarez and undefeated phenom Juan Diaz are out to prove they belong in the big leagues. 7 fights, 3 weeks on America's #1 boxing network. Don't miss the action this Saturday, October 19th at 10 on Showtime Championship Boxing.
Near the end of a doubleheader here at the Arrowhead Pond in Anaheim, California. Steve Albert with former world champ Bobby Chez and Jim Gray. The first fight was very exciting as Eric Morrell retained his flyweight title against Thailand's Kausin Kauwichet, TKO in the 11th. And here we're in the 11th round of this scheduled 12-round championship fight for the WBO welterweight crown. And pretty much from start to finish, it's been the champion, Antonio Margarito, in the white trunks with the green trim.
In the first round, it looked like it was going to be a little bit of a different fight, but after that, it just became the first fight almost all over again, even more one-sided than the first fight.
It's been easy pickings for the champion, Margarito. Both fighters haven't been past the 10th round.
No point. Work me out of there.
And here, as you can see on this graphic,
Let him go. Let him go. Stop.
previous times past the 10th round, nothing but goose eggs. Everything from this point on seems academic unless Perez can do something dramatic here, but it does seem very unlikely.
11th round.
Well, even in the last fight there, which was only an 8-rounder, not a 12-rounder, I'm not sure the pace was quite this good by Margarito. He's really stepped up the pace and kept those punches coming well into the fight. Here we are in the 11th round. It looks like he's in the 2nd round.
Yeah, Bobby Margarito living up to his words in our fighter meeting with him yesterday, saying, hey, I have improved since the Margarito fight. You're going to see a different guy. And he continues to just pile it on here.
It's a great example, Steve, of why no one really wants to fight Margarito. The younger guy's moving up. He's not a big marquee name, so you get big money to take the shot. But it's a tough fight, a grueling fight, and that becomes a no-win situation. Even the fighters who are ranked above him as far as marquee value don't want this type of trouble for 12 rounds.
Not only that, Bobby, here obviously in the driver's seat throughout, but even when he is down, he's dangerous. That has not been the case here because he has no quit himself, and he comes off the canvas to win.
He's never an easy fight, Steve. Even if you beat him, you have to fight every minute of every round to do it, and it's just not something everybody looks forward to.
He's been down 3 times against Danny Perez, Miguel Gonzalez, and Juan Soberanes, and he came back to win each fight. So that's an indication of the kind of heart that he has. So boxing fans, stand up and take notice. Casual fans, Antonio Margarito. He's a nice fighter. I'm not quite sure if he's on the level of a Vernon Forrest.
Right,
I'd like to see him against Mayorga, maybe.
That would be a nice fight. He doesn't have blazing speed. He doesn't have real one-punch crushing power. But his work ethic is outrageous. He has been throwing punches and punches every minute of every round without fail.
Non-stop. Ricardo Mayorga upsetting Six-Heads Lewis in a fight scene here on Showtime. And that would be a bad fight, Margarito Mayorga.
1 round left. You gotta knock him out. Okay? That's all there is to it. We're not too far off. He stayed busy, but he didn't hit you real clean with a lot of shots. But we ain't taking no chances. You just gotta go to him.
Change ups and jabs. Hit him with everything you've got. Everything that you know how to do. You listen to me? Watch out for the headbutt.
Ok, ya cuide la derecha y todo.
Watch out for the right. Watch out for the right and use your jab. And the counter is the effective shot.
Antonio Margarito on the left, taking Danny Perez on the right to school tonight.
Last round.
They touch gloves for the 12th and final round for the WBO welterweight championship. The first title defense for Tijuana's Antonio Margarito, who has been in complete control. Danny Perez clearly needs a knockout to pull out a dramatic victory.
And if you notice, in Margarito's corner, he said, instead of saying play it safe, you got this fight won, he said hit him with everything you have. Sometimes when a fighter just looks to stay away, he makes a mistake that costs him dearly. They're not of that school of thought. Go out there and do what brought you here, do what got you here, do what's keeping you here. Work.
And that he is doing. Margarito continues to fire away at Danny Perez, pushing him back. Throughout all of this, no knockdowns. It's not that Perez has been bludgeoned like Diaz was in the fight with Margarito, but he's just been cleanly outworked, effective punches, connecting punches.
I was going to say, for the amount of punches landed by Margarito, there's very little telling by looking at the face of Danny Perez.
Bueno, Pele, bueno.
But he sure does have the face of a boxer, Danny Perez. Pushed in nose.
Are you saying there's some lumps and bumps there?
I didn't say it was bad. I just said he has the look of a boxer.
I got you.
I'm not saying Bobby Ches has that look.
He sure does.
I think you're proud of it too.
Damn.
Hey, Perez with a pretty good long right hand there.
Last round.
You know, he's woke up a little bit, but far too little and certainly too late.
I got you. Bueno, bueno.
One thing you can say about Perez, he does have heart.
That was low.
But Margarito has game. Perez is game.
That's right. Stop.
Under a minute.
Stop.
In the fight. Crowd getting a little disgruntled. Haven't had much to boo about tonight.
Stop.
Particularly in that first fight, which was really action-packed. Eric Morel victorious. This one completely dominated by the champion Margarito. No doubt about it.
Which translates into a little bit more boring of a fight than the first one. The first one was fairly one-sided, but not quite this badly.
At least Margarito keeping up the pace of punches, throwing a lot, very busy. And here are your final 10 seconds of the fight. And that is it. A shutout or near shutout for the champion Antonio Margarito from this vantage point. And there's the wife of Antonio, Michelle Margarito. She is quite pleased. Antonio Margarito from Tijuana, Mexico. On the threshold of becoming 27-3.
Al tremendo Saba, Giovanni, a mi jefe que me está viendo.
Couldn't knock him out, but he will win on points in thorough fashion.
Yeah, very good, very good. You fought a very good champion. Okay.
Antonio speaks a little English. Very congenial, very affable. Good guy.
Perez did not have many good moments in the round. Here he comes and tries to get something going with the right hand, but not a lot. There's one decent right hand and not much else. Margarito having his way. You see him there as a left hand, as a right-hander. Throws the right, and switches. Shortly, here he goes, starts that jab with the right hand. He's having fun. He's hitting with everything from both sides of the fence, both sides of the ring.
And you can see his wife's name emblazoned on the front of his trunks, Michelle. And there she is, very happy, Michelle Margarito.
She's got a smile on her face.
Michelle on the front of the trunks there of Antonio Margarito, and he is all smile. Let's get it up to Jimmy Lennon Jr. for the official word.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of action, we have a unanimous decision. Here are the score totals. Judge ringside Pat Russell scores the bout 118 to 110. Judges Dr. Lou Moret and Jose Cobian both score the bout 120 to 108. All three in favor of the winner, and still the WBO welterweight champion of the world, Antonio Margarito.
So a near shutout for Antonio Margarito, winner by unanimous decision. Retains the WBO welterweight title, his first successful defense, now 27-3, no contest. No redemption for Danny Perez, unable to avenge his 1999 loss to Margarito, as he slips to 27-3 and ends the hot streak at 11 straight wins.
The biggest adjustment that needed to be addressed seemed to go unaddressed. He needed to find a way to neutralize that busy style of Margarito. Never really seemed to attempt to accept in the very first round.
Yeah, it never happened. Let's send it up to Jim Gray with the winner.
All right, thank you very much, Steve. Antonio, muy bueno, congratulations. Sergio Diaz will translate for us. Were you surprised, Antonio, that you were able to totally dominate this fight?
¿Se sorprendió dominar esa pelea?
Bueno, no, trabajamos mucho en el gimnasio, aquí con el entrenador Javier Capetillo. En verdad no estoy cansado, aguantaba más rounds, llevábamos una buena preparación. Ya habíamos peleado con Danny Perez, sabíamos que le íbamos a ganar.
He said he's not surprised at all. He was in good shape. His trainer, Javier Capetillo, trained him very well. He was ready to go even longer.
Why were you able to pummel him throughout the entire fight? Seemed like he had no answers.
¿Cómo pudiste darle tantos golpes y no tenía nada de respuesta por esos golpes?
Bueno, el trabajo en el gimnasio, el trabajo, la buena condición, estar constante en el gimnasio y en la corrida.
The constant physical training in the gym, running, and especially the conditioning.
How much did your victory in the first fight when you outworked him help you tonight?
La primera pelea, ¿cómo te ayudó hoy en esta noche?
Bueno, sabíamos que su derecha estaba fuerte, por eso nos estuvimos cuidando de ella en la primera pelea. Sabíamos lo que traía, no pensábamos nunca que nos iba a ganar Danny Perez.
He knew that Danny Perez is strong right hand. That's what he prepared for. He trained for that right hand, and he was ready.
Who would you like to fight next? Would you like to fight Vernon Forrest, Mayorga, Shane Mosley? Who exactly?
I can't get his
Bueno,
Forrest.
quisiera una unificación con cualquiera, sea Mayorga, el mismo Bernard Forrest, nos preparamos para él. Queremos una unificación y pedirle a Bob Arum a TAP.
He wants a unification with Mayorga, Vernon Forrest, Mr.
Y que salga por Showtime.
He was ready for Showtime, and he's going to fight for Showtime.
We appreciate that. We enjoyed having you on. Congratulations, Antonio.
Thank you, gracias.
Arriba Tijuana!
All right, Steve.